What's going on, you bunch of heathens? Today we have a Yarnhub video. We haven't watched them in a while. At least I don't think we have. It feels like it's been a hot minute since we've watched a Yarnhub video. This one is called When America Fought the Soviets in World War II. Now, I know that there was some clashes between the Soviets and Americans at some points during the war. But I don't actively know a whole bunch of them. So this should be interesting. Make sure you guys check out the original. It's linked down below. Let's jump in.
It's the morning of the 7th of November 1944, and 12 P-38 Lightnings soar high over Yugoslavia.
Oh,
leading
so
the flight
P-38,
is Colonel
okay.
Clarence Theodore Edwinson. He spots a cloud of steam rising below. It's a German steam train, not the main target, but it's too juicy to pass up.
Let's go get it, boys.
Edwinson turns over and dives to the attack, his men following close behind. They pick up speed and lock the locomotive square in their sights and pull the trigger. The locomotive is riddled with American fire, and steam pours out of holes all over the boiler as lightnings.
I just gotta say, holy shit, we just starting right up off the bat, huh?
Guy. But the Germans are quick to the defense. Black puffs of German flak burst around the formation with shrapnel piercing the aircraft's thin metal skins. Edwinson shouts on the radio,
Everyone, get low.
They turn to dive back to the ground to escape the German guns, but it's too late. One P-38 is struck directly and bursts into flames as the entire squadron dives for safety. The pilot's desperate voice is heard over the radio.
I'm hit! I'm going down!
Edwinson
God, I forgot.
the trees and whips his head.
I forgot the voice acting is actually super good right now.
Back looking for his man, but instead he sees a fireball of the stricken bird slamming into a hillside.
Oh.
Does anyone see a shoot?
Every pilot hopes someone else responds for the yes,
No shoot.
but the silence
Is
is
deafening. Hey, called it.
Fury fills Edwinson's heart.
Copy.
The US planes roar over the Serbian mountains.
Copy.
Suddenly, the ground drops below them, revealing a huge valley with an airfield. It looks just like the target area as was described in their mission briefing. Seconds later, Edwinson sees exactly what he expects: a long line of trucks and tanks going north on the road to Belgrade. There's never a shadow of doubt in his mind. This is their chance for revenge.
There are those sons of... Blue flight, get that German convoy. Red and yellow...
Nice, God, what, my mind just fucking blanked. Sensor, thank you, me. Nice sensor.
To the airfield. Yes, sir.
The Soviets are unaware that they've been misidentified by the Americans. The Red Army and Yugoslav partisans are celebrating the anniversary of the October Revolution. They drive along, soldiers singing and Soviet flags flying proud in the air, until the rumble of engine interrupts the melody.
So it's a friendly fire incident? I mean, from a plane. I don't know, this flag, sure. They're both this and the other flag are red, so sure you could misconstrue them.
The soldiers look up to the sky and see the
But if the other flag isn't.
Seeing their ally brings a smile to their face. Celebrations resume and the convoy marches on. Few are alarmed as they see aircraft break formation and turn straight towards them.
Нет, они на штурмовку идут.
Oh,
The
you got
lightnings bear
Russian
down upon the
speakers,
column,
okay.
The roar of engines getting louder. The few Soviet soldiers that realize the mistake scramble to warn the incoming Americans. They grab flags from their comrades and lift them higher, waving them desperately, hoping the Americans see. But there's not enough time. The pilots don't notice. And they pull the trigger. The Soviets are cut down as bullets tear through the formation of men and vehicles. The column is thrown into a frantic panic under a storm of lead. Then the American bombs rain down. Explosions blast through what remains of the convoy, inflicting heavy casualties. At the nearby airfield, the distant blasts are heard. Lookouts stand in attention and see a swarm of aircraft headed straight towards them.
Батарея, к бою!
The alert sounds and Soviet soldiers rush for the anti-air guns. They come to life with a furious roar, with tracers flying out in the sky to meet their incoming attackers.
Like, comment, subscribe.
In the air, Edwinson leads his men down towards what they believe to be a Luftwaffe airfield full of Bf-109s. Anti-aircraft
But it's
fire
not,
sweeps through their
homie.
formation, striking the planes, but they're undeterred. 20mm shells and 50 caliber bullets pour from the Lightning's powerful armament. They smash into the earth, ripping across the rows of parked aircraft as they hear enemy fire striking their own birds.
Nice.
Crackle.
I don't know Russian aircraft.
The Lightnings pull out of the dive, but one of them fails to follow. It's Second Lieutenant Alden Coulson. He yanks on the yoke with all his strength, but he's taken severe damage from the Soviet guns. He flies much lower than
come on,
expected,
buddy.
attracting the fire of the entirety of the Soviet airfield's anti-aircraft defense.
She's not coming up!
More impacts strike the Lightning.
Oh,
Wings
fuck.
and elevators rip to shreds, and control.
Dude, holy shit. This is definitely, this render has definitely gone up from the last time I watched
Let's
this.
grasp. The P-38 crashes a kilometer from the airfield, exploding, with Coulson inside. Edwinson sees the balls of flame, and his anger once again rises. They're gonna make the Germans pay.
Build some altitude and go in again.
Yeah, unfortunately, homie, you misidentified.
Down below, anti-aircraft fire continues skyward at what they believe to be German twin-boom FW-189s. Red Army pilots rush to the remaining yaks.
Yeah,
through
because why
fire
would,
and smoke.
because I'm sorry, why would the Soviets think that their allies are attacking them?
The first two Yak-9s to stir to life are piloted by Lieutenant Krivanogich and his wingman, Junior Lieutenant Shipulya. As they taxi, Krivanogich looks up and sees the fighters turning back for another attack. They line up on the runway.
Yeah, better
and
fucking
smash
hurry,
the
homie.
front to full. The Yak-9s roar down the runway. and
Oh, so I
lift
was
off
right,
into
they
the
are
air,
Yak-9s.
with a terrifying sight of the incoming enemies looming overhead. The two Soviets skim the treetops, racing away from the P-38 sights. But behind them, the rest of the Soviet pilots are not so lucky. They take off in a large group. Easy targets for a squadron that have already lost 2 men.
Get those planes before they gain altitude.
His men don't question. They dive in at maximum speed, peppered by anti-air fire streaming from the ground. With the crosshairs on target, they pull the triggers. Bullets and shells tear through the Soviet planes. One Yak is immediately destroyed, and several others are damaged. They break into evasive maneuvers as lightnings soar overhead, all except one. One
who's
of the
him?
pilots sees his attacker pulling out of the dive and
He sees
spots an
American?
opportunity. In a split second,
Oh, no.
he pulls his Yak upward and pulls the trigger. P-38 flies straight through his burst
Oh, homie let him
and is
overshoot.
ripped to shreds. The P-38 bursts into flames and spins violently out of control. The pilot inside is Second Lieutenant Philip Brewer, and he has no opportunity to get out. He's trapped, and his plane plummets to the earth, crashing to the northeast of the
3
Soviet
dead.
airfield. The P-38s gain altitude, escaping the grasp
Fuck's sake, 3 dead, only one of which was to the
of the
Germans.
anti-air gunners. Edwinson looks down where 1 enemy and 2 friendlies burn. This is becoming a much tougher fight than he expected.
A lot of fighters incoming. Make a defensive circle. We're shooting our way out.
Meanwhile, Krivanogich and Shipulya race low over the trees, accelerating to well over 400 kilometers an hour. The attack on the rest of their squadron has left them.
Hold up. What's that in freedom units? 400 kilometers an hour. PH. 248. Okay.
Isolated, but they watch the enemy fighters opening fire on the helpless column, and they know they have no choice. The pair of Yak-9s pull up into a steep vertical climb. For the first time in history, fighters of the United States and Soviet Union will face off in all-out air-to-air combat. Shipulya races in pursuit, sweeping in at high speed and opens fire with a single 20mm cannon and 50 caliber machine gun. His bursts land on one of the P-38's twin fuselages, but it doesn't take it down. Chipolia soars
Okay, so
by
he
it,
must- his
blistering
20 mil
speed,
must
and
have
turns
missed
away
then,
to
I
prepare
guess.
for another run. But the American pilot requests backup, and 2 circling P-38s come to his rescue. Krivonogik spots the enemies diving upon his wingman, and he shouts over the radio. It's just at the nick of time. Chipolia pulls hard in the last second, escaping the P-38's lethal burst. He twists and dodges the enemy aircraft's guns, but he's on the back foot. Krivonogik flies into the
Yo,
scene
where's
as fast
everyone's-
as he can, his
Okay,
heart thumping with every burst
lot-
of tracers launched.
I was about to bitch, where's everyone's like situational awareness looking around? But I've never been in this situation. They're very high hot-blooded right now. I'm sure it's fine.
Towards his wingman. He's coming in fast. His crosshairs line up with one of the 2 lightnings.
Admittedly, they're
And he
getting
pulls
like
the trigger.
somewhat tunnel vision
His
from what I can
gunshots
tell, but
streak across the sky and narrowly miss the enemy's aircraft. The American pilot immediately abandons the attack, but Krivonogik ignores him. He moves on to the next P-38, hounding Chipolia, takes aim, and opens fire. His rounds are perfectly placed and hit the Lightning's twin booms, bursting the aircraft into flame.
oh
It
shit.
flies on, out of control. The American pilot opens the canopy and bails.
Oh damn,
His
that
burning plane crashes 8 kilometers to the north of the Soviet airfield.
was cool.
Both brace for an onslaught. They're horribly outnumbered. But then, the rest of the Soviet squadron burst onto the scene, opening fire and scattering
that-
their enemies.
A little goofy,
Krivonogik
but
is
I'm all
relieved.
for it.
Victory is now within reach. The 2 pilots rush into the fight again, but in the chaos of battle, they get split up. Krivonogik sets his sights on an enemy and chases him through the melee, spiraling upwards through the air. The P-38 does the same, but the P-38 is not optimized for low-altitude flying. and
Come on,
Krivonogik
Americans, do
quickly
not
catches
get
up.
fucked over by
He
the
has American in his
Soviets.
sights. On the ground, a Soviet anti-air crew are firing at every enemy target they see. Whether it was just bad aim or an over-enthusiastic gun crew, we'll never know. But they send a volley directly at Krivonogik's yak. He gets no warning. His yak is struck directly and
shit.
disintegrates. Chipolia tries to raise his friend on the radio and sees the burning wreck plummeting down to the ground. His friend is gone. He shakes
As bad as it is, I'll take it. I'm American, of course I want Americans to
the
live.
loss from his mind and spots an American target underneath him.
Admittedly, they
He's
fucked up
outnumbered, and now without his
hardcore,
friend. But he still dives back into the fight. P-38s swarm around him. One of them performs a steep climb, stalls, and then opens fire. Chipolia has no chance.
Oh,
he flies
shit.
on straight through its fire, and he's shot down.
Hey,
The
he
burning
did what you
wreck of his
did,
plane
homie!
crashes 500 meters north of the airfield he was defending. Soviet losses mount. Another yak is shot down by the Americans. The Soviet forces are desperately contacting every nearby base, hoping for reinforcements. Rushing to the scene is a fresh group of Yak-3 fighters led by Captain Alexander Koldunov.
Time
They're
to-
responding to the
P-38's
airfield
time to
commander's
fuck off.
desperate plea for help. But Koldunov is unsure of what he'll find. He's been told he's fighting German FW-189s, but he knows the 189 is a reconnaissance aircraft. It's not used for attacks like this. Something is very wrong. Approaching the battle, he sees what is before him is not an FW-189. That is the unmistakable shape of an American P-38.
Dude, I'm just confused because the Yak-9s are historically have the big-ass Soviet red star on it. And the Americans have their fucking star on it. And also, they have a very specific paint scheme a lot of the time when it comes to the Americans. How has no one figured out that they're Americans and Russians yet?
He quickly abandons his attack and roars alongside the Americans, wagging his wings, hoping the Allied pilots see the red stars.
Yeah, how do you miss it?
But instead, the lightning slows, gets behind, and turns to fire. Koldunov breaks into evasive maneuvers and escapes. the
Friendly
furious volley.
motherfuckers! Jesus! No one's paying attention!
He once again flies
Nah,
straight through the
good
maelstrom,
question.
trying to capture the attention of the American pilots, but it doesn't work until he flies right alongside Edwinson. Edwinson sees the Soviet plane, and his eyes go wide. A cold sense of dread travels down his spine.
Yeah, bro, you fucked up.
Aircraft zipping by around him. Every single one of the so-called enemies are sporting the red Soviet stars.
Like the red stars aren't small.
Ceasefire! Ceasefire! They're Soviets! Everyone back to base now! Repeat, everyone back to base now!
All of the P-38s turn west and flee the scene, but they're chased by the Yaks.
Всем пилотам отставить преследование. Это союзники.
One by one, each Soviet pilot turns back to their base, and the terrible accident comes to an abrupt end. The incident was taken by some on Soviet high command to have been a deliberate act, and for a brief...
Of course, Soviet high command says that. Not to say that the Americans are... We are not innocent in this. But I highly doubt it's a fucking direct... Why would we send P-38s of all things for this? No. 31 lives on the 31 lives died to the Soviets, or 31 Soviets died, 28 KIA. Oh, a lieutenant general got killed. Oh shit. And then both those pilots, okay. Oh, a Yugoslav partisan.
brief moment, the fallout of the incident threatened to spiral out of control. But the US admitted the mistake in an explanatory letter to the Soviets that set out
Okay, so 2 pilots died.
the chain of events as to why the Americans thought.
I mean, 2 for
they
2
were fighting the
pilots, I
Germans.
guess.
A Soviet account, although likely embellished,
Oh, that's cool. Yay! The pilot who was actually managed to punch out got...
was released.
Honestly, gonna tell you this, you're fucking lucky that you were found by partisans and not the actual Soviet, not the Red Army. If you were found by the Red Army, you were more than likely gonna get
Over
killed.
the years, American information on the incident is very scarce, and many believe that the full account of the incident
US pilot who bailed out near the airfield was interrogated and handed over to British
has
intelligence.
been kept secret and remains classified until 100 years after the event.
Check out this film to see how the first stealth plane, the Nighthawk, will be shot down not far from here, 55 years from now.
Oh, was it really? That's cool that it was not far from there. That's actually pretty cool. This is a good video, and I'm trying to think on why the US would keep it, what's the word? The info hidden? It could be a rogue general, but I wouldn't think so. Maybe the US is just super embarrassed for it. Or maybe it was maybe it was a fucking deliberate attack and they wanted to kill one specific person. Like, say, the lieutenant general. Who, honestly, who fucking knows? Other than the people who were there / you know, the documents and whatnot. I will be interested once those become public. God knows I won't remember, but it'd be cool. Well, that was Yarnhub when Americans fought the Soviets in World War II. Classic case of, well, not even necessarily classic now that we think about it because of the ending. A case of misfire, officially misfire. Pretty good, pretty good. Make sure you guys check out the original. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and until next time, you guys take care of yourselves. See ya.